What up, everybody? And welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Calloway. Thank you for joining me again this week. Okay, so before we get this video started, I would like to ask you all to please smash that like button. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe to my video. Please subscribe to my channel. And I just want you guys to do that for me. Please smash that like button because it helps with YouTube's algorithm to get my video pushed out to more people because I'm trying to expand this thing. And also, if you guys are watching now, if you can do me a favor, please, if you can, if you don't have the time to watch the whole video right now, please come back and finish it later. I'm trying to get my watch time hours up and stuff like that. So please, thank you for your support and everything like that. So let's get this thing started. I'm going to start off by saying I'm salty. I'm salty because, man, y'all don't even know. This is my second time shooting this whole episode. The whole episode. Redoing it all over. I just shot this whole thing, and now I got to go back and reshoot it again and try to think about everything that I just said in my last video. And the reason why the video got messed up is because I ordered this thing here on Amazon, and what happens is it's a thing that you can plug into the camera and you can hook up a direct line into it, or you can plug it into the power outlet so that you don't have to rely on batteries to run your camera, right? So it could just run forever. But what I didn't know is once I hooked up my mic and everything to the camera, I had a lot of feedback, and the whole video was, I could hear myself talking, but it was just feedback. So don't do that. Now it's crazy because when I, next week, start next week, I'm gonna try to go live stream the whole thing via YouTube. Now I did a test video yesterday and the live stream worked. It worked and I didn't hear any feedback or anything, but I'm thinking it's got something to do with me recording with this, connection here with my mic plugged into the camera. There's some type of feedback going through as far as the electricity is concerned, but let's move on. So this episode today is going to be about this right here. Women. It's not okay to be a hoe. Stop listening to your female friends. Coming from a man, if you volunteer that information to me without me asking you about your past, don't be surprised if I don't want to mess with you no more after you tell me that. And I'm going to just keep it real with you. Don't volunteer that information. If I don't know you as being a hoe, and we just met today, don't volunteer that information to me. I don't need to know that. As a man, I don't need to know that. Like at the end of the day, a man may tell you that, man, I don't care what you used to do. They do. They care. If you used to be in these streets running wild, hoeing all through the streets and everybody in the city had a piece of you, don't no man want to know that. Like if ain't nobody walking up to me directly saying, hey, Dust, man, your girl used to be a hoe dude. Like me and all my boys, we passed her around at a football party. I don't care. I don't want to know that. Right. So I'm saving you now. So I watch this podcast, right? I follow this podcast. And this podcast that I follow, I've been following it for years. And the podcast started at Foxhole Radio, then it moved over to a couple of different places, and then now it's on it's called Speedy and Friends. And I love the show. Speedy is, man, him, his son Dominic, all of them. I mess with all of them. But it's one person on that show, one female, who came in. She started off, she was a pretty cool girl. She came with a lot of knowledge and advice about just life and getting stuff together, right? And then 360. She turned into this attention. I want to be the bad guy on the show or the bad woman on the show, and I want everybody to look at me and I want to blow myself up off of being that person on the show, right? Just a complete 360. So they was talking on the episode, right? And somehow they got on this topic about women, being hoes. So they got to her and they asked her opinion, and she basically encourages her friend to be hoes. She's in her late 30s. She's overweight. No knock on overweight people. She has no kids. She's still single right now to this day and can't keep a man. Every time she get a man, she can't keep him. Run him off. And she's still out here living the whole life with plans. And this is coming from her with plans on, in the next couple years, getting a man, having a baby by that man, and getting married to that man. But she's in her mid to late 30s, still living the whole life. She's still running these streets. And she say this shit on air on the radio, right? Now I get it. some men, there's some suckers out here that don't care about that stuff. Like, I'm sorry, I do. They don't care about that. But if I had a woman like her, you out here on this radio and you talking about, I'm a hoe, I run the streets, I do this, I sleep with this many men. I'm sorry, I'm not good with you. We not good, right? And this is the person that's your friend, right? She's encouraging you to go out here and be a hoe and live your whole life and live your best life, right? But did y'all hear everything I said in the beginning? She's in her late 30s. She's overweight. Again, no knock on the overweight people. She has no kids. She's single and can't keep a man. And she's still out here living the whole life with plans on getting married and having a baby within the next 2 years. By damn near 40. Let's just say 40 years old, she want to have a baby. And she thinks she's going to be settled down with a man by that time. So, I don't know about y'all, but how many of y'all got them old ass friends out there, older friends, old friends sitting out there and they ain't got no man and can't keep a man because they followed her logic. Get out here, live your best life, set yourself out to the world, sleep with every man that you want to sleep with. And then on the back end of your life, you can get it all. You can get everything you want. You can settle down then and do that shit later. How many of y'all know a friend right now that can't keep a man and she in her 40s, damn near 50 years old? I know a bunch of women like that. They lived that life, was in them streets when they was younger, thinking that they could do whatever they wanted to do, just run the streets and ain't have to worry about how people would look at them down the line. And they thought it was all cool. And now they sitting out here watching you that chose a different route, right? Where you didn't set yourself out, you paced yourself. Even if you had 4 or 5 different men in 30, 40 years, you paced yourself out. I could say even if it's 10 men. But these are the women I'm talking about that had 50, 60 dudes, 70 dudes they done slept with. But now, look at them on the back end. They out here, they ain't got no man, can't get a man, and then every man that they see, it be somebody that know them, and they know them for who they are. Right? So if you have a friend like this girl from that show, please use earplugs when she's giving you advice. I promise you, use earplugs, man. Being a hoe ain't okay. But she tried to make it seem like it's okay, right? And I don't care if you're a male or female, but this girl tried to make it seem like it's okay. I get that there's a double standard when it comes to men and women, but this episode here is geared towards women because we all know that the weight of a man being a hoe, for some odd reason, men be looking at it and women don't even care about it, but men look at it like, shit, boy, do what you got to do. Even though we don't care about it, we know that women, y'all don't care about it. Y'all don't care about men that be really hoes for real. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all really don't. And that's why men do it, because for some odd reason over time, it has never been looked at like a bad thing on both ends, right? But for me personally, I believe that it matters more for a woman to me because I feel like y'all are the softer side, right? Y'all show us how to love. And that shit is just real. And I can even just say it from my mom's side, like from my mom's standpoint. You know, I wouldn't know how to be softer or be a little bit more gentle if it wasn't for my mom. You know what I'm saying? So if like my mom was running the streets or whatever, back in the days, if I would have saw my mom out here being a hoe, I would have, you know, like, damn, I think it would have messed me up. But I didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? So as far as a woman is concerned, I think that y'all like, we look at y'all like y'all softer, you know, and when you see a woman, 9 times out of 10, when you see a woman who be in them streets, just running them streets, doing her thing, she reminds you of a dude. She reminds you of a damn dude. So a dude, but like, man, I'm cool, man. I ain't trying to mess with her, man. She too much like me. Men don't want no woman that's ran through. They don't. Like some dudes, they may pretend like it's all cool and they'll take a girl that's ran through, but trust and believe. I got a story that's going to destroy that whole idea that's coming up. But that double standard thing is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm not talking about men in this episode, because like I said, a man can go out here and smash as many women as he wants to, and he is crowned a king. That dude gets cheeks. That's how they look at dudes. But it's different for a woman. A woman, it's kind of like she just destroyed, you know, like, Oh man, she let like 30 dudes said, I'm cool, man. And the reason again why I'm gearing this episode towards women is because I hear and read a lot of so many men ain't shit videos and comments on social media, and it blows my damn mind every time. It blows my mind every time. And I just be like, look, maybe you need to reevaluate some of the advice, right? The advice that you're getting from people, mainly your friends. You might need to, revisit that shit. And I say revisit it because if you look at it like this, if you got a friend, right, that's telling you, like this girl, to go back to the girl on the show, right? You got a friend like her. She ain't got no man. She can't keep a man. And per her stories from the show, they all leave her. And according to her, that's because I'm just too real. No, you're not too real. Don't no dude want a girl that's fucking being ran through. It ain't about you being too real. Thank you for being real and telling me who you are. But ultimately, it's my decision to not want to fuck with you no more because you out in these streets. But that's what she won't say. She'll just say they can't deal with me because I'm too real, right? So this same real ass friend is the same real ass friend that's trying to they ain't got no man, can't keep a man. But she telling you to go out there and be a hoe and live your life and do what you want to do. But for real, at the end of the day, she value what people in relationships have. What did she say? In the next 2 years, I'm going to have me a man. We're going to get married and we're going to have a baby. But you ain't got no man now to even start building up a foundation to lead towards a marriage or a baby. But this is that same friend that's giving y'all advice to go out here and be hoes. Go out here and be hoes. Set yourself out. Do what you want to do. You damn near 40 giving out this advice to people your age or people that's younger than you. Because don't get me wrong, it's a hoe phase for women. It's definitely a hoe phase. And, I get it. Some people do it when they're younger and they clean it up right before they get to the age where it's like, yo, you can't clean that shit up now. And some, they never clean that shit up. Like if you were a middle school hoe, don't be upset because that shit follows you into your adult life. The best thing you can do is move. Like I'm dead serious. The same goes for a high school or a college hoes. You made the bed, lay in it. And I'm not trying to be harsh, but you made the bed, lay in it. This episode is not an attack on every woman that decided to go out there and be a hoe. It's not, because it's layers to the shit, right? There's a lot of hurt behind some of these women and what they go through, right? It's a lot of hurt. Some women became hoes because of something that happened in their life that led them down this path where they just were destroyed so bad that they could only do, just nasty shit and hoe stuff because they were just searching for love all over the place. And sometimes it be some mental shit that just throws them off and it just sets them on this path, right? But for some, it ain't no story. It ain't no story tied to their decisions. They was just born like I'm about to just set myself out. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay with whoever I want to lay with. I'm going to do whatever I want to go do. And that takes me into this story here. When I was in high school, I used to date this girl, right? And this girl, I thought she was just, she was it. That was my boo. I thought it was my boo. So, I'm playing, this is my girl thing back then, thinking that she was the only one. I was the only one she was messing with. Do you know, I just found out in my life a week ago that she was messing with 5 other dudes, other dudes during the time she was messing with me. So I'm thinking this whole time, like, this is my girl, man, this is my boo, but didn't even know she was a hoe. A hoe. She was in them streets, right? So this whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, this my number one girl. This is my girl. She my thing. Do you know what could have happened to me back then if something would have happened to her? So she could have gave me a disease, pass that disease on, and I would have never knew. And it's so crazy to me that We were that young and she was in them streets like that. And then I didn't find out that she was in them streets until I was grown, right? And then I'll take you even deeper. That happened to me in high school. I'll take you back to the 6th grade. 6th grade. Yeah, you heard, 6th grade. I went to school with this girl in the 6th grade. I still know her to this day. When I tell y'all, she was a hoe in the 6th grade. So if you got a 6th grade, little child at the crib right now, male or female, keep your eyes open because it happens early for some of us. So we was in 6th grade. When I tell y'all, I don't know where she learned this behavior from, but we used to go, we used to have recess, right? We'd go outside recess and we had this tunnel thing. And the tunnel thing is where she would go and run into the tunnel thing and she would pull her titties out and let us see her titties and feel on her titties. And when I tell y'all, she had grown woman titties when we was in 6th grade. And I ain't gonna say her name. I'm not gonna do that, right? But she took that 6th grade, being a hoe from the 6th grade, she took that and carried that shit all the way through to now. And what I mean by that is, it never stopped. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. And it never stopped. I'm talking about she would get in relationships and I would know some of the dudes that she was in relationships with. And I would know the dudes that she was smashing on the side of those relationships. Like she just never stopped, right? And every time she would settle down, right? I noticed it was the same type of dude that she would settle down with. A sucker that couldn't get chicks. It was a sucker who couldn't get no chicks in the school, right? Girls didn't like him for whatever reason. Probably was a cornball, but they could always get her. And because the reason they could get her is because even though she was doing her whole stuff and none of the dudes that was smashing her would settle down with her, the dudes who were corny that couldn't really smash her if they didn't get in a relationship with her, those are the dudes who would settle down with her. So I watched her do it for years and years. And then eventually she even found one of the suckers that he was a cornball and I personally know him. Cornball. He settled down with her for the long haul, right? Settled down for the long haul. They had babies together and everything. And do you know, she never stopped being a hoe and drove this man crazy. And I think he thought that, okay, now we got kids together and we got a major commitment going. She ain't gonna be like that no more. Shit. It never changed. So eventually they had these babies together. They do this, do that, and then they break up because the nigga, she drove him crazy for real. Drove him crazy. So my man breaks up with her, or they break up, do whatever they do. They go their separate ways, right? This man is all messed up in these streets now. He messed up. I'm talking about, man, he might be in prison now. But do y'all know she still went right back to them streets and she's still doing the same thing that she's doing right now. Taking that advice from women like the girl from the show. Girl, do what you want to do. Live your best life. And don't get me wrong. She ain't in the streets bad, like living homeless. She got a nice job and she got a little thing going on, but she just out here just in the streets wild. Just still sleeping with everybody. And the crazy part is the same stories are being shared. The same stories are being shared. It's just being tossed around the streets. You still out here just being tossed up. And to go back to the girl from high school, that I said that I was, I found that out a couple weeks ago. I found that out at the barbershop, man. Like we just having our barbershop talk. And I come to find out that she just was out here wild. You know what I'm saying? But back to my man and his girl that's still out here in the streets. So they gone. They ain't with each other no more. Now she out here, man, when I tell y'all, I know people personally right now that's smashing her and passing her around. And we in our late 30s now. Mid to late 30s, not late 30s, but mid to late 30s, right? And she's still out here doing the same thing, man. The same thing. But and the crazy part is she's one of those people that drop that advice on people. Man, you got to go out here and live your best life. Live your best life. At the end of the day, man, I don't know too many of y'all hoes that it's not possible. You can't be sitting at home happy. I mean, if that's what you want to do with your life and you okay with being a hoe and that's you just like celebrate just hoe shit and that's what you want to do, hoes forever, hoe power. If that's what you want to do, that's your thing. You may be happy with that. But at the end of the day, I promise you, the average girl walking around here that chose to live that life, now she ain't got nothing going on and she can't find a man because she's still living in that situation where she was in a hoe in that neighborhood and she's still gonna stay there where everybody know her. You ain't sitting at home happy right now. You're not. You can lie and tell somebody else that shit, but that's bullshit. And another story from high school. I went to school with two sisters, right? Two sisters. In them streets, they fucked damn near the whole neighborhood. In them streets. And do y'all know they have the audacity to act stuck up now? When people see, look, man, I see y'all on social media. I see y'all on social media. They act stuck up now. I'm talking about some of the same people that we grew up with, right? Will comment on some of the stuff that they put up. They never acknowledge nobody. Like, you know, they get the 10,000 likes and the 8,000, 6,000 likes, but they act like they don't know nobody no more. So the comments don't be off the chain, right? So it'd be enough comments to the point where I know, hey, you see this person, man. Like, we know these people, and they comment on their post and they never say nothing back to them. I'm just like, damn, you acting stuck up now. Do you think we didn't forget? So it's like, damn, like you can't run this world. You go out here in these streets, be a hoe, do all this shit. And then you sit back and you think just because you decided to not be a hoe any longer, or from what I see, because they took the advice and moved away. But so from a distance, I don't know if you're still being a hoe, but do you think people forgot about, you know, the shit that you did? No, nobody forgot. So don't act brand new before somebody put your ass on blast. And I've given this advice before. Don't expect the people around you to just get over that shit. Don't expect us to just get over it, you know, because a lot of y'all out here, y'all took that girl advice, even if y'all don't know her, but now y'all act funny style and shit when people see y'all. Don't do that, man. Don't do that shit because we know who y'all are. You know, and I'll go back and say this one more time just to make sure, let you all know this is not an attack on every woman that decided to grow up and be a hoe. You know, and again, like I said, it's a lot of hurt tied to a lot of these different situations where women went out here and chose to be this. You know, like I know a few people who, you know, a few women who were abandoned by their parents, you know what I'm saying? And they were abandoned and molested and shit like that. And that shit leads to a lot of psychological issues, which push them, it's going to either push them up, make them stronger, and they're going to push past that shit and support people and help people that went through the same thing as them. Or a lot of them go off the deep end. They go off the deep end. So for a lady to come out on the radio talking about go out there and live your best life, do whatever you want to do, go ahead and be a hoe, do what you want to do. Nah, man, shut that shit up. That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Do not celebrate going out here just having, you know, letting yourself run through this world with no control. Control yourself. You don't need no big book. You don't need nobody at a church. You don't need none of these people that be trying to tell you all this stuff, you know, that you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't need to hear all of that stuff. I'm not trying to make you afraid. I'm not trying to scare you into doing something. Oh, you're going to go to hell, or you're going to do this and that's going. I'm not trying to use all those tactics to try to scare you into doing the right thing. Don't do that shit. Have more self-respect for yourself. Have more self-respect for yourself. This is yours. You control this entire thing. You know, the world that we live in today, people try to ignore the fact that they try to get you to live in this world where they like, man, forget what the world thinks. You shouldn't care what nobody thinks about you. At the end of the day, man, if you want to get more accomplished in your life, care a little bit more about the decisions that you make. How will they affect you, right? How will they affect you moving forward? Because I don't care what nobody say. People can pretend every day that like they don't need nobody to get nothing done in their fucking life, right? Because you do have some people sitting behind these cameras and shit every day, and they make millions of dollars just sitting here talking into the shit, right? But at the end of the day, what if people stop listening to you? What if people stop buying into the shit that you talk about, and you got to find a different way to go out there and get it, where you got to partner with people who actually care about how you carry yourself, right? Then it could affect you, right? So you got to make better decisions. Don't let no woman sitting out here that ain't got shit going on for herself tell you some shit. How's she going to tell you something that she ain't got shit going on, right? So if you want, let me talk to y'all women a little bit, right? And this is for the women. If you like men, women that like men, and men that like women, right? So I'm gonna talk from the men that like women and women like men standpoint, right? Because that's what I do. That's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And this is nothing against the LGBT community and all the other letters. I don't know them all. I don't. This is nothing against y'all, but I'm speaking from my end. So from my end, women, you got a woman like that girl in the beginning of the show, right? To go back to the beginning. She encourages her friends to be hoes. She's in her late 30s. She's overweight. No, not going to overweight people. She has no kids. She's single and can't keep a man. And she's out here telling you, you hear all of that, right? And she's telling you, go out there and be a hoe, girl. It's all right, live your life, do what you do what you do. How many of y'all women, like, let's be for real. How many of y'all women how many of y'all don't, like, y'all don't want no man, y'all want to settle down? And I'm not talking about the bitter women who done been burned by a few men, so she hate all men now, and I don't want to be in a relationship no more. I'm just talking about just the average person. Do you not want to be in a relationship? Do you not want to be in a healthy relationship that's going to last? If you want to be in a relationship, in a healthy relationship that's going to last and that's going to build to be something greater, don't take fucking advice from women that don't have shit going on. Don't take fucking advice from a woman who can't keep a man. You taking advice from somebody who can't keep a man, who's basically telling you to go out here and be a hoe, ruin your fucking life, ruin your image. To me, it personally sounds like she wants you to be in the same fucking boat as her. It sounds like she don't want to be lonely by herself. So she want to encourage more people to be like her. So it's just, she's not the only one out here doing that shit. Do not take advice from her. If you want to take advice from somebody, right? Think about it like this. If you messing with a dude who you question, you got some doubts about, right? You questioning his movements. Is he moving a little funny for you, right? Wouldn't it be wise to go talk to another man, not a satellite dude that's out there, he floating around waiting for an opportunity to get with you so he could smash because he always liked you. Not that type of man. Just go talk to your average brother that don't want nothing from you. Wouldn't it be smart to go ask that man for some advice on how a man is treating you so that man can fill you in on the bullshit and the real shit? Wouldn't that be wise? Open up, women. Open up these things up here, right? Stop complaining on social media about, hold on, after you take advice from your friend that's telling you to go out here and be a hoe, right? And you took that advice and you start doing it, but now you want to settle down. Stop taking advice from that hoe friend, right? On how to fuck your life up. And if you really want to get something for real, and you want to have something that's going to last, go get it from a man. And I'm not saying that because men are stronger than women. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm talking about because men know men. And if this was an episode about men, women know women. So if your woman is doing some funky shit at the crib, you can be like, hold on, let me ask my friend over here, man. She knows some shit. You know, what does this mean? Right? Because I'm a man, right? If I'm a man, I know what it means if a man is doing some funny shit to you, right? So don't be going out here to your whole friend, getting advice from her on how to fuck your life up. Because at the end of the day, you are going to, hey, look, it's going to kill you. It's going to hurt you. I promise you it's going to hurt you. Like I know a woman right now. Right now. And she tried to settle down with me. But the one thing that I could never get past was she was in them streets. And I'm talking about she was in them streets for a long time. And I don't know if she's still in them streets now, but the conversation when I get around my people that know her, that's because we all still in these same streets, right? We may live a couple neighborhoods apart, but we all still know each other. The conversation, when you say, hey, I started talking to what such and such, you know what the conversation is? As soon as that conversation is brought up in a barbershop or brought up anywhere. Yeah, man, she used to mess with this dude, that dude, and this dude. And I get it. You know, some dudes may be, I guess, stronger than me. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who that dude is, but because every dude that I talk to in a barbershop, they were like, oh, hell no. Everybody's story is, oh, hell no, I would not mess with that. That's the story, and we grown now. So Don't believe in that bullshit. It's not okay to be a hoe. Stop listening to your female friends. It's not okay to be a hoe. It's not okay to be a hoe. Don't run these streets and fuck your life up and put yourself in a position where now when you get older, you trying to settle down, everything gonna be cool. Like, nah, everything ain't gonna be cool. It's not gonna be cool. Don't let people lie to you and sell you bullshit and make you think that that's okay. Sorry, I had to check the time, but it's not okay. And again, if you need any advice, get that advice from a man. If you know, like, before you go off the whole end and say, you know, look, man, I can't find a man for shit because these dudes ain't shit. They playing these games and they just keep on fucking me over. Fuck it, I'm gonna just go do what I want to do. I'm gonna go just be like a man. I'm gonna be a hoe. Nah, don't do that. Just go talk to a man first. That way, and then I know this episode ain't about sleeping with men and being in relationships and like fucking a man, but I'm gonna get to that one. I'm gonna get to that one pretty soon. But if we started off like this, before you even go into that whole I hate men thing and men ain't shit, it ain't no good men out here, make sure you reevaluate what you're doing before you decide to get to the getting with a man. So if we talking about, this is just a little dime I'm gonna drop on you in the beginning. So when you meet a man, I know some of y'all be thinking that, you know, oh, we both grown, so I'm gonna just sleep with him on the first night. I'm gonna tell you what that does for a lot of men. A lot of men will not respect you after that. Even though a man may tell you, yeah, I respect you, don't believe that shit. It ain't real. It ain't real. Even though I may not know if you a hoe, I may not even know. You probably not a hoe. This is probably the first time you did this, slept with me on the first night that I met you. But in a man's mind, he might not tell you this. We still look at you like you're a hoe. A man may not tell you that shit because a dude ain't gonna be real with you, but I'll be real with y'all women. When you mess with a man and you sleep with him on the first night, I meet you at the bar, we vibing, I get your number, we go back to my crib, we bang. Be careful. Because a man may keep you around, you may just be another bang piece for him, but be careful. Because that same advice probably was given to that woman that night from her friend, go just have fun, do what you want to do. But don't be surprised if that man don't want to mess with you no more after that, or don't be surprised if he never commit to you, only to the cheeks. So be careful, man. Don't make them dumbass decisions and don't listen to your stupid ass friends that they ain't even got a goddamn man. She ain't even got no man. The girl from the radio show ain't got no man. Everybody keep on calling her out on that shit too. And you know the crazy thing? I got dudes knocking down my door every day. Really? I hear what you're saying. Let me say that to you. Listen to how that shit sound. People just be feeding you bullshit too. She say all this crazy shit on the radio show, right? And then when somebody call her out like, well, how come you ain't got no man now? Her response is, I got dudes knocking down my door every day. Anybody can say that shit. I can say that shit right now. Man, I got bras after me every day, dude. Ain't no, but you can't tell me I get them. I get hoes. Prove it. That's all somebody got to say. I've never heard anybody on the show say, prove it. I got dudes that want to put a ring on my finger right now. This is the shit that she says. Prove it. Listen, I'm done with this episode. Stop listening to your friends, man. It's not okay to be a hoe. Stop listening to your female friends. It's not okay to be a hoe. Please, man. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Let's Talk Podcast. Please smash that like button. Please share this video. It helps with the algorithm, like I said. And like I said in the beginning, if you do not have time to watch the whole video today, please come back and just finish it piece by piece whenever you get a chance to. I really appreciate your support. All of my social media information is listed down below in the description of the video. So please go ahead and check that out. Please follow me on all of my social media platforms. I'm trying to grow this thing, people, and I won't stop. You know, I don't care if I get one like. I don't care if I have one view. Whatever, I'm gonna keep on putting these videos up because, you know, in order to get something off the ground, in order to make some things move in your life, you have to stay consistent, right? Stay consistent, stay consistent. So if you're out there right now and you're trying to build up something, my advice to you is to stay consistent, you know, and never stop, man, and don't give up. And again, I want to say rest in peace to my cousin Cheryl, my cousin De'Erica Grove, rest in peace, you know, and I'll see you on the other side. So until the next time, people, I don't want to waste any more time. Peace.